All right, let's start. Let's go.
Who's the
Roll call. Roll call.
Miguel,
president?
Miguelito.
Jasmine's not here. Sam,
I'm right here.
Aaron's not here. Stuart,
Stuart.
Here.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Please, pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wow. Every time we do this pledge of allegiance and we see what's going on in the country, it's like contradictory. It's like, don't say anything because you're going to get killed. Be careful. All right, thank you. Carol, thank you, Fred, for being here. I'm glad to see Fred here today. So we're going to start with summer coming up. As we know, we've been having some, the swimming pool needs to be resurfaced. So we know that for, this is the third year, but we haven't had the money to do that. And I'm sure we can get the money if we get somebody to write grants for us. There's plenty of money for municipal pools right now. We just need to get a grant writer and somebody that we can hire that actually goes and does this for us.
Is there an alternative to that? Can we get a liner?
No,
Can't do a liner?
no. You know, I tried to find different ways with DOH, and they said, you know, you guys really gotta get it done.
Oh, it's because it's municipal.
Yeah, and so this year we're not gonna open the pool because we don't have the funds to get it done, and you know, it's just a lot of money for that to be. If we can get the grant, that would be great. But we have to look into that, and maybe we can get it done this year.
When you say the facade, what are you talking about?
Not facade.
Well, it says facade. No facade.
The pool needs to be lined.
Facade, resurface.
Just the face of the walls.
The walls.
The walls and the base and the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, it's fading. The cement, Fred, whenever it was done,
Yes.
you know, Department of Health said it wasn't done properly, so it has to be redone. And 3 companies that came and looked at it right now, the one that came the cheapest, I got the number last week, it was $35,000. You know.
What about the original guy?
The original guy?
Because I had words with him when I was sitting in that office.
You're talking about who renovated, redo it? That company?
No, the ones who built the pool.
Yeah, same guy.
Huh.
It seems like a short amount of time since it was just done.
Doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I don't remember
And I
all
think
the
it's been-
particulars, you know.
Corky pushed on it and it cracked, so it had separated. And then he patched it last year.
What is it?
The side, what you're talking about, the side where the cement had come off. There's what you're talking about is like a little veneer. It's a little like.
We're just talking the pool. We're talking about that side.
No. We're talking about the pool itself, inside.
Yeah.
The
inside.
All over.
Yeah, the problem is the sealer, Fred, the cement. You can actually see the lines of, you know, the cement that actually. You can see the different colors, the different shades at the bottom of the pool. And that's what concerns the Department of Health. They say you have to resurface it. You have to, you know, prime it, clean it, paint it, and get it done properly. We don't want to see that. So again, for 2 years, they let us do it. You know, they gave us the opportunity and we were able to open. But they told me last year, you know, if you guys are planning to do that next year, you better get it done. So otherwise you're not going to get the permit. So again, and you know, we always have this conversation every year. We have everybody complaining about the pool, why the pool is not open, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of throughout the whole summer, you don't see the people that is complaining in the pool. They don't come.
It's erratic.
They don't come. They go to Pine Hill, they go to the rec, they don't come, you know. And again, it's a municipal pool, we'll work on it this year and get it done next year. So again, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of work that has to be put into that swimming pool. And we just don't have the funds right now. We're gonna work on it this year and hopefully we can get it. But we just need to get a grant writing. You know, we have, as we know, we have the MARC project, but they're too busy right now. They have a lot of big projects. PEG is being, you know.
Let's not the dormitory society. They originally financed those.
We didn't get anything from them, right? I know that they promise and everything, but especially right now, the way things are, you know, like crap. I mean, they're taking away everything. So if we are able to get some money from the state, we're going to be very lucky. Right now, as we all know, the federal government is taking everything away. You know, so that's where we are right now with the pool. And then less than a month ago, we have Earth Day. You know, time is going by so fast that in a matter of less than 2-3 weeks, we're going to have Earth Day. I hope we have a day like today, nice and sunny, so that we can have a lot of volunteers to pick up garbage, help us out clean up the street from all the snow and the winter blizzard that we have, all the garbage that accumulated. It's coming up right now. And as we know, the village is going to host, like every year, the barbecue. We're going to be cooking and providing the drinks and the mac.
This year we're opening the
stand. Yeah, we're going to use it. And we're going to have the mat game, so we can actually, well, again, hopefully we have a beautiful day, not like last year that it was cold and breezy and rainy. You know, so hopefully this year we can have a nice sunny and nice warm day so that we can all enjoy and have as many people as either, you know, if they don't come to help out clean up, come and enjoy and have a hot dog or a burger from the village. So that's around the corner. And then we have Memorial Day after that, and it's right there. So we need volunteers for directing traffic. So you know, if your time permits, if we can chip in an hour or 2 hours in the day to go guide some parking, and I'm sure we're gonna have more people volunteer for that. You know, a couple of hours in the day, and then help out park all the people, because now we have more space to park. We, as we know, we cleaned up, you know, properties last year that they belong to the CBP, and we did the cleanup. So the least that we can, you know, ask is let us park for events. So I know previous mayor Winifred is talking to Kent Manuel about the Bailey plant and getting that space for parking. And then we have the parking here by across the street from Shamrose Mechanic.
Right.
We have that space, and then behind it we have more. So I'm very confident that we can, if we park properly in that space, we can park at least 100 cars, at least. And then we have the other property that belongs to DC next to the community garden that we also clean. You know, we can park there some, I don't know, 20-30 cars, because that lot is a lot smaller, but it's open, so we can utilize that. And then obviously whatever previous mayor Winifred can achieve for the daily plan. So we're gonna have, I'm very confident that we're gonna have plenty of parking for that day. I am very confident. And again, you know, we need volunteers for directing the traffic, helping people park, so that the better they park, the more organized they park, the more room we're gonna have, and it's gonna be easier. Bada bing, bada boom.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm very pleased to see. For many years, we had all this negativity, all these things about bringing more businesses in, people fighting, people, and I don't understand why people has to fight so much. You know, if you look at the world is falling apart. And then we all go to church, we all go to the synagogue, we all pray, and then, there's a lot of hypocrites going around. So I want people to enjoy every day, especially here in Fleischmanns. We have such a beautiful weather, fresh air, peace, no need for us getting into arguments and fighting, and it makes no sense. It just makes no sense that everybody has to find something to complain about, to argue about, and then when we look at ourselves, we actually are making a lot of mistakes ourselves, but we're judging other people. So, with that being said, I'm very pleased to see more businesses coming into Fleischmanns. We have, the Taco Shack, we have Doolittle's, we have the two shops down Doolittle's. It's happening. We have across the street a new flower shop that is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to be able to order your flowers for your wife, your girlfriend, for special events, and for weddings.
What happened to the old flower shop?
And then they're still there, but it's hit or miss. They open, and then we have another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Margaretville as well. Yeah. So we have this momentum happening, and then right next to this place, there's going to be a lady fixing up all furniture, high-end quality furniture. So that's going to be another big add-on.
And the kimchi artist.
That's right. And then,
Right.
so we're having more variation for more people to come in. So we got to get ready for all the visitors that come, the regular people that live in the area. All of these things are happening. So the only way we can achieve things is working together, making things happen, and start fighting too much, stop arguing about things that are not, are really not worth. When you look around, you look in the world, and everybody's, they hate, and they hate. And it's based on race, gender, nationality right now. I mean, everybody, I'm afraid to go to a big city because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's their reality. Unfortunately, it's their reality right now. And that shouldn't be, because we all came to this country for a better life. And this country was created on immigrants, and people forget about that. So I think that a lot of people has to educate themselves. And then we have, Diane, do we have anything new as far as that grant from the revitalization?
No, the last we got was him calling to talk to you, unless he got in hold of you, no.
No, he didn't. Okay. But so far, I mean, we have, Mark Beerman is doing a lot of work on that building, Community Bank. So he got a piece, he's going to get a piece of that grant. Ben Lear is the other one that is going to get a piece of that grant to fix up the house that he has supposedly to be affordable housing. That was the whole idea for that, for him applying and for the village
And there's a third.
support him.
There's 5 buildings in total.
Yeah.
We had a meeting about it on last.
What's the
Tuesday.
other ones? Carol.
It's the Gallery Building, the Bank Building, Doolittle's, Shadow Crest, and Ben's Building.
Okay. I wasn't aware of those other 3, but okay. Because I know last I heard Matt Cohen, he was part of that also, but he stepped back.
Yeah. It's the 5, and we had our meeting, got the packets, and the meetings have already started.
Good,
Very
good.
good with your guys' meetings.
I'm very glad to hear that.
When they say affordable housing, what's the price range? The average, Social Security is $1,200.
You know, Frank, Fred, if you ask me, and if, affordable housing right now, it's anything less than $1,000. That's affordable, less. But right now, nothing is less than $1,000. Everything is 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 in this area. And look around. What do we have? We don't have a lot of industry around here. I mean, the biggest employer in Fleischmanns is Water Brothers. I mean, I know everybody complains about the prices and all these things, but they employ a lot of people and they treat their employees really well. So the village of Fleischmanns keeps doing business with them because, it's close. They're part of Fleischmanns, and they're a big employer. So we want them to be around for a long time. But right now, I mean, what's affordable right now? You look around and things are going backwards. The cost of electricity is through the roof. I mean, look at the diesel, the heating oil right now. It's over $6. And we had a cold winter, so it's brutal. It's brutal. However, I hear a lot of people saying, things are not bad, things are okay. There's always inflation. Oh yeah? There's always inflation. It's like,
Until he collapses the economy, then watch what happens.
people forget so easy. I mean, we just had it in 2008 when everything went to the roof. The housing, the market crashed, the housing went down. The price of gasoline in 2008 doubled, and it's just, and that's why I say Fleischmanns is the place to be, because here we are, and we every day we do our best to survive and make it happen, and be happy and be grateful for what we have. So we're gonna do a motion to approve the minutes from January, if we may. No,
I don't have them with me. Listen, I got all this other stuff I forgot.
that's okay,
to make.
Diane.
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna skip that.
I'll bring them next time, I promise.
Let's see.
Can I just say one thing
Go
about
ahead, Miguel, go ahead.
the affordable housing?
Go
Because it's such a big issue, and I think what's happening now on a bigger level is they're trying to link it with transportation. Because you can create all the affordable housing in the world you want, but if you can't get to work because you don't have the car and there's no public transportation, the affordable housing becomes almost meaningless.
Mhm.
So there's a huge campaign to do that. I was part of a tour that involved the state. State came down when we were applying for that grant. You couldn't make it one day. You asked me to go,
Yes.
and that question came up: what is affordable? And I know from working at the Roxbury Arts Group that we're still considered, when the state looks at us, as an underserved rural community. So we stand out in lots of ways. One of the ways we stand out is that we're a really poor area. I don't think, like you say, $1,200 a month, average Social Security is gonna get you $1,000 apartment. How does that work? You have $200 left, So all these initiatives are really important, but they have to look at them kind of in a combined way and recognize the poverty level, lack of transportation, that we're underserved in many different ways, and housing is one of the biggest ones. So it's all being kind of put together and looked at collectively, and we're competing for money based on that. And we lost it. We didn't get it the last round. We asked for it. We gave these tours and everything, and they moved on. The one thing we got is this thing to help the businesses. That's the latest thing we got, but nothing to help people yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, Miguel, also infrastructure. That has to happen. We need to improve the roads. We need to improve the sidewalks. We need to, I know Margaretville and Arkville are talking about connecting their sidewalks, so that people actually can, ride bikes, walk, and the way of transportation also is a big. If we don't have infrastructure, we don't have transportation. Simple as that. We need to be able to connect the roads from one place to another in order to have shuttle buses, taxis, buses. So we need the infrastructure.
Sam told me that when you first met Yasmin, she used to walk from Hog Mountain Road down to Fleischmanns.
Yeah, they used to work.
And that's what.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And a lot of people.
Wow.
And
it's typical of rural communities. My father used to talk about it in Puerto Rico 50 years ago or 75 years ago. Here we are in the state of New York. It's the same.
And for what it's worth, we are in one of the best places because we talked about this before, Miguel, at a meeting. Fleischmanns and the surroundings, we have plenty of water, thanks to the springs.
You have 2 wells in the park that are good.
Well, we'll get to that, Fred. Even though it's not on the thing, I'll fill you in. But we have springs. We have a lot of springs in the area, so we have a lot of water coming down. And
it's seasonal though. I mean, there were times where our wells have gone. We had to turn on the auxiliary wells, because it got so low, and that's one of my concerns with this motel over here. Water usage and sewer usage.
Yeah, we'll get again. It's not on the agenda, but we'll talk about it. So compared to places, they have to transport water. They have to buy tractor trailers of water in the United States. I'm talking about. They have to bring water in because there's no water. I mean, look at Pine Hill 2 years ago when they dried out. Fleischmanns didn't get to that, thank God. And we were able to open the pool, and Fleischmanns were able to have all the amenities that we have. Pine Hill, they have to bring water in. That was 2-3 years ago. So we're very blessed. We have, right now we have water coming down everywhere. And if we have a drought season, yes, and that's when we all Fleischmanns residents need to be part of the solution.
Right.
Minimize the use of water. When we were talking about the way people was using the water about 2 years ago, that we have a really, really dry summer, and we have, because the infrastructure of water, our water pipes, they're old. So we have breakages. The fire department, we have 2. Then in Hillside Avenue, we have 2. Once you open one up and once you fix it, because they're so old, most likely you're gonna have a leak down the road. So when that happened, we're telling everybody, conserve water, minimize the use of water. What do I see? I see a guy washing his driveway with the hose. Come on, don't you see? Come on, let's be a little bit of, considerate for everybody else. So, but anyways, we had that. We were good. We didn't run out of water. This summer looks good. So hopefully we're going to be okay. Only God knows. But as far as we applied for a grant, Fred and Harold, just so you guys know, for studies on the water infrastructure. So once I'm very confident that we're going to get that grant, so they can hire the people to study the way the infrastructure of water is and our needs. Like Miguel said, sometimes Fleischmanns, our water infrastructure is really old. It needs to be replaced. So because of the history that we have, getting this grant is going to help us pinpoint the main locations that we need to put our major effort into. And that's going to be one. And then on the other hand, we have Department of Health, which these wells that you were referring to, that's another grant that we're going to apply with DEP in order for us to replace those, to close those, do the appropriate procedures for those wells, and then look for another space to build another well. But that's on the works right now. And thanks to, because as you know, Fred, you were mayor of Fleischmanns and you were part of trustees, and so you have a lot of knowledge. When something arises like an emergency, that's when it gives you a lot of leeway to go and say, look, we have an emergency, we need these funds. So the different department says, okay, well, is the risk of people because it's a municipality, so we are looking forward to help you. So that's where we are right now, because of the Department of Health came and checked those wells, everything raised up, DEP, now everything is helping out to hopefully make everything easier. So, and as you know, that takes some time, a couple of years, 3, 4 years, 5 years, 2 years, but it's gonna take time, but it's on the works. And as far as the hotel, Fred, because again, you've been part of government for too many years, you are well aware that when the connections from Spillian to the village were done, even though that was a loan that the village took on the behalf of this project, that I think it was wrong. So now we have the connectivity for that hotel that you're referring to, because, now we're going to be able to make some money.
My concern is not so much about connectivity. I mean, the pipes are there. My concern is about usage. And how much waste can the sewer plant take? How much more than it's taking now?
Well, I'm sure that, Fred, when all this was done, we're going back 20 plus years ago, because of the way the law is written, the village law, if we would have concerns about something like that coming to Fleischmanns, somebody, and I'm going back 20 years ago, on the village zoning law should have taken no more hotels in Fleischmanns, because we're not going to have any more water, or the sewer plant is not going to be able to take it. I'm sure that if that was a concern, how many mayors before me came since that project, since the sewer hookup, the wastewater treatment plant, somebody, I'm sure somebody, they saw a problem, they would have said, we need to cancel this before it's too late, because we're not going to have the ability to support more housing in Fleischmanns or hotels or whatever. So I don't think that's a problem, Fred. I really don't.
Is that something the planning board would look at when they consider their application?
Well,
I don't know if they're qualified to assess, how much usage they look at. I don't know who can determine.
They will.
Wait a minute.
There has to be a way to determine how much water the hotel will use.
I've only heard
when
that.
we put in Spillian,
Yeah.
okay, and I don't like to keep putting up Spillian because it's not just them,
2013.
but
Yeah.
when that was put in, it was supposed to be Spillian, and any other property on that side was supposed to
Right.
be hooked up. No other property was hooked up to that system. So any property that would have been over there, it's able to hold any property that
Right,
was supposed to be over there.
right.
So a motel that has 20 rooms in it, if there were
That's not
20
that
houses
many
over there,
properties.
there would have been, that's
It's
right.
just 2 houses.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it was hooked
Well,
up.
I've only heard that we have, I've heard that it's too low sometimes and they need more. Like
Yeah,
they
we used to
need-
have to go get milk,
Yes,
sour milk
we
from the
used-
plant.
I've never heard it's too much. I've only heard the opposite.
You are correct, Miguel. We have a capacity and we only
For sewage,
use
Not water.
roughly 5 or 10% of the capacity
There you go.
of our system.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're like.
So the hotel is not,
Right, so,
we can open
right.
up 10 hotels.
Over the winter, it dries
It
up to
just-
nothing
right.
that we have to introduce vertical products into the.
But the water's
system to work.
another issue.
Because it goes to zero. There's no flow. We're only using 5% of the capacity of
But
what
I
was
think the
designed.
water is a bigger issue.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, domestic water is an issue. The sewage is not.
And Spillian does not have village water.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, the water, it's something that the only one that controls that is God. How much water he's gonna send. That's that. But again, as far as and like going back to the planning board, I know Rob Allison has been he's right now on the driving this
I had a
this
conversation with him a few days before.
Okay, and what was his take?
Well, we didn't discuss much. He was starting to get involved, so there was nothing much. We just discussed that.
Yeah, but again, as far as my concern with the conversations I had with Allison, it's so far there's no issues anticipated. There's all the studies that have to be done because also as you know, we contract services from the county, the planning department of the development, and that's Ken Manuel. So he's already been part of a conversation, and you have nothing but, I think right now, willingly owners to do anything that needs to be done so it's done right. And it's just the beginning of this process. Who knows? We might stop it, say, you know what, for whatever reason, it's not good for the village, it's dangerous, whatever it is, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But as like I said at the beginning of the meeting, the village of Fleischmanns, we're very blessed and we're very, in many ways, we have everything that we need. Water is an issue because God is the only one that controls that. And whenever we're running low on water, we residents can always put our 5 cents in and minimize the waste of water, the use of water. That's how we can help. Other than that, I mean, we're doing good. We have more. Again, we're looking to, once we get this grant done, we're looking to apply for more grants for housing. There's some houses here in Fleischmanns that need financial so that they can bring more rentals to the area, more people. We have these guys next door, they're cleaning up, and right now they're not sure whether they're gonna build build an apartment right now, or if they're just gonna sell it. So that's on the works. They're cleaning up right now. We have the old Mariah Court, which we already been discussing every meeting, and that also has a big potential of apartments.
Isn't that owned by somebody?
That's owned by René La Cabaña. René bought it. Yeah. So that's owned by him. And again, all we need is financials. The properties are there, and right now I know the state is also concerned as us as for housing. So and that's that. What else we have? We also need to, we are going to be advertising the positions of a Department of Public Works employee. We're going to need one more. And we're going to need a deputy clerk / treasurer for the office. Right now we have a lot of paperwork, a lot of reports that have to be turned into the state, compliances that we have to do. And, we've been without, Diane has been in the office for, what is it, Diane, 5 months now? Since November?
Mhm.
So we need to step it up and start looking for 2 people. And also what I like to remind everybody is, let's try to make sure that we have our sidewalks free and clear. No bicycles, no strollers, no garbage cans. Sidewalks are for people to walk. And again, let's be a little bit more accommodating for the people that likes to walk and use the sidewalks. So that's also for everybody that is watching. Keep the sidewalk in front of your house nice and clear so that people that is walking, they can take advantage of that. We had a request from a fellow resident about, with the cost of living and everything, about looking into the village giving breaks for property taxes. And we have a veteran that needs help with property taxes. We have a couple of senior citizens that are in low income that need help. And I was not aware that the village could do that. So I asked Trustee Miguel yesterday to contact NICOM and make sure that before we do anything or say anything, it's something that the village can do. So Miguel, would you like to tell?
Sure, we have a local law option. We can create an exemption. And there was a question about whether we already have one. Have you ever heard of a senior exemption for taxes?
What?
A senior exemption for taxes in the village?
Something that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I don't, so when I was an assessor for the town has it.
That's Star. I know that.
No, in addition to that, they have a senior exemption. And it's income based. You have to make under a certain amount of money. And it used to be, like when I started working there, it was like $16,000. It was ridiculously low. And in the time I was there, they raised it to like 20 something, 22 or 24. But it's a sliding scale. And I was telling Sam when I first got here about it, and they have, if we want to do it, we can. That's the most important thing. It's up to you. And the question specifically was about a veteran, and this person, you have to be, I guess STAR is based on a home. So you could be a resident of the village and not a homeowner and get a senior exemption. Oh, but you wouldn't be paying taxes, so that doesn't matter. So if you go back to the home part, it has to be your primary residence. And in the case that Sam asked me about, this person also rents out rooms. So he generates income from the property, short-term rentals, and that does not affect his eligibility under the state rules, the way they're written. So they're based on, the rules are based on the property tax laws that exist. And if the exemptions don't exist already, we have the option through a local law to enact them. The surprise came, and I remember this from the assessor's office, that the senior exemption is much higher than any exemption you would get for being a veteran, even if you're in a combat zone, because there's a sliding scale for that. You could have been a veteran and been stationed in Alaska and never saw any combat, and you'd be entitled to like the lowest amount. And you could have been a veteran and seen combat and been in combat, and that's the highest level. The highest level only gets 15%. And what they were saying is you can stack them. So if you get a senior exemption and you're so low income that you qualify for the max, which is 50%, that you can then also get your 15% veteran exemption on top of that. And you'd be entitled to 65% total. And that's common throughout the state. So I think based on my experience at Middletown, they saw that the threshold, the financial threshold was so low that very few people qualified for the senior exemption. And so they raised it. So you have a lot of power to put that level where you want it. Like you can say, if you make less than 18,000, you could make it the same as the town. If you make less than 22,000, the town can afford to give away more money.
Right.
I don't know how much money we can afford to give away. So I mean, sometimes a gesture, something is better than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to look into that.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that when we have the American dream, and you own your house, and you work all your life for it. Now you're you retire and you depend on your income, your social security, and if you were lucky, your 401k, but if you're not everybody's on that boat. You know, it's a shame that you paid off you paid off your house, you worked all your life, and now if you have no money for property taxes, you lose the house. I think that's, you know, that's fair. But and then we have all these people, and again, I apologize in advance. We have all these people that they're getting more and more and more, you know, richer by the minute. And the regular American people is starving in this great country. And then you have these billionaires, these trillionaires, and it's disgusting. But anyways, we're gonna look into this for, you know, to help the few people that need help, and we'll find a way. Because that really bothers me. And right now we don't have any fundraising, so but we're looking for people to help us out, write grants, you know, and get some money so that we can make things happen. If you guys don't have anything else to add,
Anything additional? No, there's been some enforcement activity around the trailer that's in the park.
Yeah.
We received a lot of complaints.
Yes.
And you know, Carl was already in the process of doing it.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't have a great deal of confidence in Carl.
And you're not alone. But the point is that, you know, people were accusing us of doing nothing, and they don't necessarily understand the enforcement process is something that
What about
unfolds.
the troopers? Would they be more effective?
Anybody can call law enforcement if there's a law enforcement issue, which
Because
it's
you
not.
have to do that as mayor. I can't do it as a citizen.
Sure you
Yeah.
can.
Huh?
Sure you can.
I didn't-
You're the only one that sees it. Whatever, if you see something, say
Well,
something.
but I don't-
Anyone who sees
Yeah,
it.
you call them.
Anybody can call, but I
Yeah,
think
anybody
that,
can call.
I think the reason that Sam didn't do it is because he didn't know. They had previously been on a private property.
I didn't know that people
And
was
they,
living in
and they,
there.
and they moved across into the park,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're living by Warren.
and
Yes.
and we were told by Carl that no one was living in the trailer. So someone heard a generator, they took a
Oh,
video.
no, I went by there this morning. There are no tags on it, by the way.
I played
Mhm.
tennis there a few days ago.
Vermont tag
Right.
on the truck.
Right,
There's
yeah.
no tag on the.
So they've been given an order, I think.
Yeah, on Sunday night, the sheriff department went to,
Oh, okay.
so they have, you know, they gotta get the stuff out by tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the ultimatum, otherwise they're gonna be towed at owner's expense.
I have a question now.
Fred,
I walked through the village, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of building going on, but I don't see permits out in the window.
do you have anything in particular, Fred? I mean, the community bank,
Just general, you know, I don't see
Yeah.
permits.
we do have permits, right, Diane? We have permits for community bank,
They're supposed to be displayed in the window.
you gotta find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta
It
think.
was required of me when I was doing it.
Yeah, I gotta ask the contractor, make sure that they put the permits on the window, and they should know, everybody should know. But again, you know, two things that I've seen, one is some people, they're sneaky, they just rather not put it on. Some people, they just get too overwhelmed with everything they're doing that,
It's protocol,
forget.
it's an automatic thing.
Yes.
It's not a question of I forgot, I got overwhelmed, it's required.
I gotta talk to the contractors, right? And I will ask them to please explain it,
Actually, you should tell Sam, you should tell Carl, and it's Carl's job to go
To go and
and
tell
make
them.
sure. It's not your
Even
job.
better.
Yeah.
But Carl doesn't, you know, that's the other thing, Carl doesn't enforce zoning.
We have a record of what Carl is being asked to do and what he does and doesn't do.
Zoning laws it's a requirement, I mean,
We're-
it's the CO.
We have a record of his performance. It's a performance issue.
And I know it's hard to find another one.
yeah, right now, right now it's very tough. But anyways, anything else, Stuart? No? So now, Fred, you guys wanna officially make comments? Now is the
Another
time.
thing that bothers me, and this is, the guy from Jersey never shows up. He's getting a paycheck every month and he never shows up.
How?
Now I know the bylaws say you can visit me, but to never be here, that's not right.
I agree.
Who are you talking about?
Aaron,
Oh, Aaron.
I agree.
I think it's also in the bylaws that you're supposed to live here, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't also the bylaws that you're supposed to live here?
I don't know the particular.
I think that is the case.
Yeah, but we have no control over who gets voted in, so he wasn't on the ballot.
So, okay, anything else?
I just came to give you guys posters for Memorial Day and invite you to come this year.
We will.
Yeah.
We're gonna be probably parking cars, Carol, but we're gonna skate. We're gonna be doing that, yeah. Because again, I know we have a lot of volunteers to do things, but sometimes people choose not to do anything. So, the village government has to step in, at least an hour or 2 hours, whatever. And then, I promise, I told previous Mayor Winifred that I was gonna look into getting some help to, guide traffic that day, because it's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big day. So, okay. So the next meeting is going to be next month.
Yeah, that's the wrong date on here. It says this month.
Next month.
Espera.
So it's gonna be already in May.
Mayo.
So it's gonna be the 11th.
Pero segunda martes.
May 11th. Yeah, second Monday of every month.
Segunda martes de
Yeah.
cada mes.
Cada mes, yes. Okay.
Es cada el 11, ¿no?
11, yes.
El
May
11,
11th.
el 11 de mayo.
Thank you,
No.
Diane, for helping.
No, puta madre.
Yeah, see, right now we cannot do anything for Cinco de Mayo because, man, the moment we put it in,
Yeah,
Scary. Scary. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. All right, we're gonna do motion to audit thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Harold. Yes, sir, thank you. And motion to audit vouchers.
Out of the.
I second.
Audit, okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
George, I second the motion.
First, Miguel, second,
That's it, yeah.
Stuart.
It's
Okay.
It's,